Got it now.
G'day, Sharon.
Hello, Wendy. How are you?
Oh, really well. So we're getting into the cooler weather.
I know. Oh my God, we've had our heater on at least twice.
I wouldn't go that far for up here.
Oh my God, we got down to 5 degrees.
Oh wow.
Yeah, it was bloody freezing.
Of a morning now, I've got like a light throw on, like a light dressing gown type thing on. That's just for the mornings, and I've been taking my boy walking, so I've got a light sweater that I wear when I go walking, because it's just
flannelette pajamas for me.
Remembering that I'm allergic to the cold, so even though everyone else is walking around and they've still got their workout gear on and the singlets and stuff, and I'm walking around with a light sweater on, I'm doing really well, I think. But yeah, I get all the peculiar looks.
No, well, it's got very cold here. The last couple of nights has been quite nice. I forgot to put the bins out last night, so I got the reminder that I had to take them out. And so wandered them down in the dark, and I was quite surprised I only had a light shirt on, and I was actually okay. So, but today, woke up today, because obviously back to New South Wales, we're back on the same timelines.
Yeah.
And it was nice to actually wake up at 7 o'clock and the sun was already out and it was shining, and that was nice. It was nice because we've had a lot of dreary, dark days to wake up to, which can be really great as well because it gives you that chance to be snuggle. But there is just something about waking up to the sun shining in your room, isn't there?
Yeah. You just spoke about what we've been tossing around whether we'd talk about today. And that's mindset. The mindset is, there might be a bit bleary. And see, I'm the same. When it's overcast here, and I know, like I don't do, these aren't regular clouds. Like we've got weather engineering happening, whether we like to admit it or not. But I still love the rain. I still love being indoors with being able to, snuggle, or I seem to get more productive in my office. I seem to have like everything. I'm a water sign, so I just love the calming feeling of rain.
Yeah.
And I reckon it's linked back to our shearing days, because when it used to rain, that was wet sheep. That was days where we had together. That was like,
okay.
Yeah.
Wasn't able to shear, so days off basically.
Yeah. And so, I mean, you didn't earn any money because you weren't shearing any sheep, but it was just that time where, and sometimes we would be stuck out at shearing sheds where we couldn't move because it was raining. But that was, you still had your banter, you still had your everyone would congregate and play cards, or pots of coffee were on all the time, or that sort of thing. It just that whole mindset about you can look at it as if to say, oh, that's a really shitty day, and moan and whinge about it being overcast and raining, or you can absolutely be okay with it and love the rain and just accept whatever season is coming your way.
Oh, totally. And I'm not sure if you remember, but this time last year I was spending a lot of time down the coast.
Mm-hmm.
And so to actually have this kind of weather, I'm like, and then I went, it's always that nice, as I said, to snuggle up in that bed of a morning and just as I was saying to you, that I had this sense of calm and peace this morning when I woke up. The bed was comfortable. I was snuggled in my spot. My pillow was comfortable. It was just a really, I don't know, it just felt like a beautiful way to wake up. I can't tell you, and I often wake up like that, but this was just slightly different again. There was just that, I don't know, and I'm sure it's obviously to do with my positive mindset and my always being aware of, before I put my feet on the ground, I do have, I set
Yeah.
my intentions for the day.
Yeah, my gratitude practice happens then.
Yeah.
But, I have to say, and we were talking about this as well, is when we make other changes, when we make changes, and the mindset has to be in the right place, I think, because we wouldn't make those changes. We wouldn't stick with those changes. But, I'm balancing out my hormones, you're doing your thing. And that then trickles out into, how you be. So when you practice a different way of putting your health first, really,
Yep.
just how much that has an impact on your mindset.
It is, and that's how we came up with today's theme as well, was because we were talking about both of us on different health journeys right now. I know that I'm not calling it a weight loss that I'm on. I'm actually calling it a lifestyle change, and a lifestyle change for postmenopause, and a lifestyle change for as I grow older. I want to look after my body better and look after me, because, I've done so much work around mind work and soul work that now it's time for me to do the body work.
Yeah. Well, I know the last time that I balanced out, did this kind of program seriously. I mean, I have never stopped, really. Once you've been on the program, you stay on the program. It teaches you how to eat, and let food be thy medicine is the motto. Yeah. And so, I've been really conscious of that, because health is my wealth. Like I won't trade it for the world. It's
can't buy it. Can't buy it.
I've got, what have I got? 6 months. Yeah, I've got 6 months until I turn 60. And so I want to be really, really healthy for this period.
I agree.
And one of our mottos when I was doing my yoga teacher training was that you don't let don't let that old person into your body. And so you do things like you do watch what you eat. You do you make better choices in what you eat. You choose, like mine is at the moment, I'm trialing a program, and that program has worked wonders. And I think it's got, one of the components of that is collagen. And I think that collagen has done a real, like it's working extremely well too, because I've noticed that even the creaks that happen in the joints is not like it's been a month of being consistent. And I think that's another thing, is that consistency. It's like when we make those bloody resolutions at the start of the year, the thing that has the wheels fall off is that we're not consistent. But being consistent with this collagen is, I've noticed that's been huge, is that I've felt the effects of that. But doing that and being able to step back more conscious on my plan is, I feel good. I supplement. I have health. Health has been a big part of our lives for 37 years. More like the focus has been on there. It was because my girl was unwell. So the education that came from pursuing stuff for her has made me so much more aware. So, we are conscious of the toxins and how we don't want to speed up mortality, is what I'm going to say. And quite often, because we just get into the ease of, it's at the supermarket, I'll just grab that. Or, I'll seek, it doesn't matter what I put in here or what I do with up here, because there'll be a magic pill somewhere or a magic potion that will just eliminate it all. Well, that's not the case. So it really has to be a concerted effort, and the consistency is a big thing. And to do all of that, you've got to have the mindset to do it.
Yes. And that was like hubby and I, we decided we were going to set off on this lifestyle change. And that consisted of starting to be more aware of what we were eating. And that was because both of us had put on a lot of weight, and I had become obese. And hey, I'm only 3 weeks in, so not much has changed. I'm still obese. But I'm actually aware of that. Well, I am. Or, it didn't take me 5 minutes to put it on, and it's not going to take me 5 minutes to put it off.
Yeah.
And that's one of the big things that I've
Mindset.
That's right. And that's what I said to hubby, one of the big things when I first started this was, this feels different to all the other diets. And not that I'm a big diet person, hence I got to this stage, because I've always eaten what I wanted, when I wanted, with whoever I wanted. And food has been a big part of my life for joy. So changing my mindset around that has actually been a really different thing. And we were just laughing this morning how we've got a set of scales that are just messing with our minds like you've got no idea. But I said, it's funny, as much as I get on those scales and they just do all sorts of mind shit with me, I actually popped a shirt on today, which the last time I put it on was really quite firm. And you know how you get button gape. I didn't have that. It was actually quite baggy. And I knew, because I actually have even started to take photos of myself, like in my first part of my journey to even just a few weeks in.
Yeah.
But it's a very different feeling. It's a very different, it's not a diet. And if I want something really badly, I'm actually having it. But I'm being mindful of what I really want. And I'm actually asking myself, why do I want that? And from that, I then sometimes make a different choice. And that's the big thing, as you were talking about choices. We're not 6 months away, but we're not that far away either, a couple of years. And we have young grandchildren, and we want to be able to chase them around for a lot further like as we were talking before, we want to buy a little camper, we want to get out there, in the fresh air more.
Yeah.
And it's a skinny little camper. We're going to have these little fatties in this little tiny camper. We need to get a bit skinnier to be able to get past each other. But it's all those different things. It's things that I never really thought about before. And I'm not even taking it from a health perspective, as in, I have to do this for my health. I'm actually just going, wow, I actually feel better.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. And that's, adding in that walk here or, choosing something healthy instead of,
Yeah.
the TV's got a lot to answer for. Like, it's sold as shit.
Well, I can't blame the TV because I don't really watch TV. So
but over time, like if you have a look over the span of your lifetime, these habits that you've got now, that we've got now, didn't happen in this last couple of years. This has been since forever.
Yeah, Rob and I have become naughty for a little while now, and as we've become empty nesters, it's so easy not to have to worry about a well-cooked meal, a healthy cooked meal.
Yeah.
And so now we're changing the way we eat. We're changing the way we see our food. I mean, for him, it's always been fuel for him. Rob's, he only has to lose like 5 kilos and he's looking pretty buff again. But mine's a much bigger journey than that. And so for me to be able to really focus on that, it's very much a mindset thing that I really need to take on board. And I need to really, I think I'm serious this time. And obviously, whether we ask this question in 3 months' time, where am I at, will be another story. But at the moment, I'm really quite serious about the difference I feel. That big bloated belly, that was one of the big things. I had that big bloated, high belly as well, which we all know for women is really bad for us. And that feels smaller, but just, I can't explain it. I just overall feel a much brighter, have a better perspective on food, whereas it became just, the naughtier it was, probably the more I ate of it.
Yeah. Yeah. And, what you said earlier too about not denying, we've just gone through, like, had Gwen's birthday.
Yeah.
Had a cake. Did I not have the cake?
Yeah.
No, I did have the cake. Like, I had a piece of cake. Did I have more than one piece? No, because what I'm doing now, a large amount of that is reducing my sugar intake. And that's what it's working towards, is taking away that sugar craving. Because I mean, sugar is white poison, and it leads to so much going wrong within our bodies as we age. And my mum was an insulin dependent diabetic.
Okay.
And I've always, like, that's been the thing that I saw with her, the thing that I didn't, I saw that her with her mum had diabetes and passed away because of it. And yeah, so I'm really conscious of that sugar thing that happens. And I'm just really quite happy with the fact that now we are, like, those choices are better choices. Not that they were out of control, but it's just, you're a lot more conscious, I think.
Yeah. Oh, and look, and for us, sugar is not that's not something that it obviously is in all foods that we have, but when it comes to us putting sugar or anything, I haven't had white sugar. It sits on my shelf, but I have it there because we have a few people that come that like sugar in their coffee. But apart from that, Rob and I ourselves cut sugar out a long time ago, and so I've always, well, for quite a while now, because we have our own bees, I've always compensated honey with sugar, like our pure honey.
Yeah.
And so even with coffee, like I have, I always was the lemon water girl. I always used to go on and on about that. But at the moment, I'm having a coffee of a morning, and I'm really appreciating that, with a spoonful of my honey. And I'm sure that'll change again. But that's like, at the moment, I'm not changing that from a mindset perspective, in the sense that that's my thing. Like, I just sit there and I can relax of a morning. I enjoy my coffee. I play my stupid bloody game. But it's like, it's what I do before I start my day, after I've done a little bit of self-care.
Yeah.
And so I'm sure that will change as I grow and evolve. But I just love the fact that I read something where it said, when we first started on this journey, it said, empty all your cupboards and throw everything out and start again. And I'm like, oh, God, how can I do that? I've got a grandson that would kill me if he came here and couldn't get his treats. But even with him, we've got him more about, well, why don't you have this? What if I give you some apple with Nutella on it? And, like those more different options, instead of what he wants.
Yeah, colourful watermelon, or a sweet pineapple, or
he loves watermelon, so that's not an issue at all. But he loves bananas too. But it's just about, for me at my age, given that I am a foodie, there's no doubt about it. And like last night, we cooked a roast pork, and it did have crackle on it. Oh, so well behaved. I shared it with Nick, so we all should share the love. But I had a little tiny couple of pieces of it.
Yeah.
But I counteracted in that to everything else that I was eating that night.
Yeah.
And so that is a big difference for me, because 3 weeks ago, and only 3 weeks ago, I would have freaking gobbled it all up as much as I could have.
Yeah.
And so it has to be baby steps. And for me, I'm incorporating all my other stuff into it. And I think because I do feel so good, that's a bonus as well. And yes, I have got supplements that I am taking supplements that are actually helping me make sure I get all of what I need as well.
Yeah. Yeah. And, when you start, like when I started on a program specifically for balancing out the insulin, it balances out your insulin, your HGH, and your serotonin. That was the big thing, is that when you make modifications, healthier choices in your food intake, it's helping you with your moods, with your mental well-being, your emotional well-being anyway.
Yeah.
And so then it becomes, which came first, the chicken or the egg? The mindset to stay on there, or did this cause your mindset to change? But I think you're right. You really do have to have that change in, and you're noticing the changes, so your mindset has changed as well, and it's that
Even
chicken or the egg.
The scales aren't telling me. The scales are messing with my mind big time. But, you know, when I go to put my stuff on, I'm going, yeah. And just the difference in my body. And I really do, but like, I've had a number of friends say to me previously, come on this diet with me, come on that diet with me. I'm like, no, 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 no. And I just was ready this time. There was no forced issue. There is no reason why I chose now.
Yeah.
It's just happened and I was ready, and I'm happy to share my journey as we go along. I don't know what it's going to look like. I'm not going to pretend that I'm going to be some magic fixing shit. I don't know. But for the moment, I feel well. I feel good. I feel happy. I feel empowered because it's been my choice to make this choice.
Yeah. Yep.
And it's all of our choices always. But I'm feeling the benefits of that.
Yeah. And then when it changes how you feel. So it changes your mindset and your, you know, your mindfulness, and you're looking out on the world, how the world appears.
Yeah.
And so then you find that you have a little bit more patience, a little bit more tolerance, a little bit more compassion, a little bit more of the things to help you get through life. And those things that used to shit you right off can sometimes just be like, oh, what? Yeah, blah, you know.
Whatever, that's right. Whatever.
Yeah.
And look, I'm always the half full girl anyway. I always do make sure, and obviously I coach that, I teach that, I live that. I'm always looking at, even in the worst situations, I will go to what is the best situation in that horrible situation, and I will try and focus on that, not the negative part of it. And so that is, for me, I'm you know me, I'm a pretty happy-go-lucky, down to earth, what you see is what you get. If you don't like it, keep scrolling, type of person. But I don't know whether it was my weight that was bringing me down. I actually don't know. Maybe it was a combination of my weight and my mindset, but I needed to do something. And in using my mindset to not beat myself up when I do decide to have that bit of pork crackle.
Yep.
Even though the husband from the lounge is yelling out, hey, haven't you had enough of that? And I just give him the bird and say, I'll have as much as I want. But that much as I want has really changed from that much that I would have had. And that's a mindset thing as well.
Yeah. Yeah. And you're having patience with yourself as you go through the journey.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, absolutely.
It is about being quite, you know, it's not compassion. Yeah, well, I guess it is. It's being compassionate to yourself first.
Yeah. It's about self-love, isn't it? It's this self-care, self-love. That's what we're all about, is this self-care. And you probably would agree with this, because I think that you said your whole family, you know, eat well. I found that having hubby by my side and doing this with me,
oh God, yeah,
it's like, I can't even explain how much better than every other journey that has been. And that's probably helped brighten my whole outlook on this, because I've sometimes had a girlfriend with me, but having your partner by your side,
having that support is excellent.
Yeah.
When I did the first program, like, you know, Glenn doesn't do the programs per se with me. We just eat a lot healthy anyway. We have for a long time. But you know, he would, because I don't have potato and I don't eat pasta or rice, or, you know, I have salads and veggie living foods, and so does he. But you know, those other things are like the filler uppers for him and you know, my boy. And so it's a matter of, they acknowledge that that's what they have, but they support me in making sure that I've got mine. Like, you know, for me,
absolutely,
it's a, you know, it's starting to get cooler here, so it's steamed veggies, you know, the brocs and whatever, and then that sort of puts us in a bit of a pathway that we're coming up to days off, and it's time to get we've got to get back into getting the veggie garden going, and so that we can eat out of the veggie garden. Not to say that we haven't been, but we've allowed that to sort of slow down quite a lot, so we can relocate some of it as well.
Yes.
But yeah, like it's no, I think that the self responsibility is, to how you feel. You're contributing to your own well-being.
Yes.
Is so important.
Oh my goodness, I just can't agree more. And as I said, it's early days for me yet, like I'm more than happy to share my journey through this podcast. I'm more than happy for Wendy to ask how I'm going if I forget. But I am proud of myself, and I am shocked at myself how the changes I have made, instead of going and reaching for something I shouldn't, I'm actually grabbing something that I know is actually going to affect me very differently.
Yeah.
And that empowers me. Whereas before I wasn't ready to do that. And so I was probably stuffing myself. That's how I would break my diets, was because you tell me no, and I'm going to try and figure out a way yes.
Yeah. I was just going to say, that's a mindset, isn't it? I'm just going to, I want to, even though it might be hurting me.
Yes.
I am still going to have that because someone says that you shouldn't have it.
And so I've had to do that work myself. It has to, and we talk about this all the time, Wendy, don't we? With self-care and self-love and mindset. And, it's an inner journey. It's a journey you need to take yourself. But I think because I don't know how I flipped it. It's like a switch is flipped. I can't explain it. But what I can say is that I'm now empowered by myself.
Yeah.
I've empowered myself to make these choices. If I want to go and get a spoonful of peanut butter out of the jar as my treat, as my snack, I will do that.
Yeah.
And the peanut butter that I've buy now has changed as well. It's all natural peanut butter, or sometimes I might make it in my Thermomix. So there's a difference as opposed to buying the other peanut butter that's full of sugar.
Yeah. Yep. And, the outcome, look, it all comes down to putting on the big girl panties and being responsible and knowing that this temple is ours and we only get one burst of this one here. And so why not have it working to optimal and knowing that, and it's about how we feel. So when we feel good, our posture's different, our attitude's different, our expression, our emotional expression is different. And so, it's got a lot to, it's really got a lot to, not to say that everyone's got to do the same journey, but, it is a case of whatever it is for you to get to that place where you feel strong and courageous within yourself, so that, empowered, so that you can be all that you can be, without feeling as though you've lost any power, that you have got no choice, that you've got, that you just got to settle for, whatever's coming your way. It's about asking questions of, does this feel right to me? Does this, if I eat something and I feel like crap, do I necessarily want to eat that again? Because I'm going to notice, then that's the mindfulness, how do I feel? Is it making me feel horrid? If it is, maybe it's not agreeing with me.
Yeah. And I have to be honest, our first week in, we were allowed to have a treat for the week. And so we both went to our favourite place and pigged out. We had a great time. We did. And my husband the whole time was going, this is really bad for us. And I'm going, nope, I love it.
What was that choice? Where was that?
That was, it's called a veal schnitzel at this guy that just does the best veal schnitzels ever. I'm a bit of a veal schnitzel fan. But I did that. I had it. I enjoyed it. I didn't beat myself up. And I went straight back to being more mindful how I ate. And then we talked about Fridays, hubby and I used to like to go and have lunch together. And so now we're actually, like last Friday, we came home and made ourselves salad wraps. And so it's just, as I said, that mindset, I can't explain, because I am a glass half full person.
Yeah.
But when it comes to this, I've never felt that I succeeded. And as I said, it's only 3 weeks in. This could be a very different story in 3 months. I absolutely hope not. Yeah. Because the way I feel now, if I'm only going to keep feeling better and better and better. And if I keep taking back my power, I think I'm going to win this journey. I'm going to make a change for me. That positive thinking and mindset has absolutely been key throughout the whole thing.
Oh, look, can I tell you, when I decided to make the change was on the 20th. Well, I started the program I bought it beforehand, but I started on the 28th of September of 2009. And before then, I can tell you, look, I'd had health challenges. I had advanced stage 3 melanoma, and I'd had breast lump. I had quite a bit of a journey through health scares.
Yeah.
But I was in my corporate job.
Yeah.
I used to have 30 teaspoons of sugar a day, and I would eat $60 worth of lollies a week. Now, were they good choices? No.
Oh. So we've never been big sugar people anyway. That's one thing we're lucky. And as I said, because since we've had our bees, I've always substituted our sugar for honey, our beautiful honey with no preservatives or anything.
Most of that was raw sugar, but it was still, I used to have at least 10, I used to have at least 10 cups of coffee a day with 3 teaspoons of sugar in every cup.
And the fact that you had $60 worth of lollies a week. And back then that would have been a lot of money.
Oh, because, I would have, they were in my drawer, and I'd be working, because it was in IT, I'd be working on a screen all day, and I was just doing this. Continual. The big bags of glucose jelly beans from the chemist.
Yes, I love them. They're probably
I used to go through 2 of those a week. Me. I used to eat 2 of those a week.
Wow. It's interesting when you get really honest with yourself too. I know for me, it probably wasn't, we eat fairly well. We always have eaten fairly well. We've eaten a lot of, I'm married to a guy that loves his meat and veg. He grew up
me
with
too.
veg. He's off the land. They did all their own meat. They had 5, 7, 10 pieces of veggie with it. And so I guess that's always been a thing for us. But we're really both shocked at how we've cut our sizes. That's been a big thing for us. The size of the meal is, we've made a big change to that.
Yeah. What we did, we accepted, and this is where we've all been sold to, is that you've got a dinner plate and you have to fill the dinner plate. And then our programming was, you don't leave the table until you finish it all.
Yeah, we had that discussion the other day, Rob and I was saying, oh my God, I went out for lunch with girlfriends on Sunday, and a friend of mine and I usually share a meal because she's always really mindful of what she eats. So we usually, get a pasta. It means we can both have our pasta, which I just love pasta, but we get to share it. And she this week decided she was having something different. And so I had the pasta by myself. You know how hard it was to leave half of that in the dish?
Yeah. And that's a mindset. That's a poverty mindset, because, oh my God, I can't leave that behind. That's worth, I paid for that. That's how much money. And oh my God, it's a waste. And so we prefer, rather than waste it, we prefer to put it in our bodies and carry it around as extra kilos.
And so somebody wanted something and I went, I'll get it. And so I quickly jumped up and I had to go away and get it, because that actually took me away from the plate.
Yeah.
And again, I'm not doing anyone's diet, or this is just a mindset thing for me that me and my husband are doing. And I actually came back to it, and I so wanted I can tell you, I wanted to put that in my mouth, even though it was cold now. I was wanting to shove that in. And in the end, I did play with it with my fork. And then I went, don't you dare, do not dare put that in your mouth. And so I actually covered it with a serviette and moved it away.
Well, you know, I have this issue with hormones. Like I've done that whole eating thing. Like I got past and being honest was the biggest thing for me. The judgment that I felt of people who, when they heard that, went, oh my God, like, you know, there was a lot of judgment. And anyway, I've come to go, you know what, I don't care what you think, but I'm just going to be honest, and this is me. But I'm going to be honest right now. And what I'm doing right now is all about hormones. And that is because going back to the end of last year and the start of this year, like I'm been in menopause for quite a few years. And I started to get period pain. And I had the flushes had come back, and I felt like my head was going to blow off. I had the bloat happening, you know, where the belly starts right at the boob line. and I was done. I was like, I feel so uncomfortable with all of this. And so I decided I'd do something about it. And so far, so good. So yeah,
congratulations.
But yeah, it's you know, this isn't the only thing I'm doing. I'm doing quite a bit of other stuff, but it's just a case of I really, really, really needed to do something, and it required me to commit to myself. I had to make a commitment to myself that I was going to do it every day. That's what I did when I started the program in 2009. And interesting, I now don't ever, I serve, the boys have big plates, the girls have little plates. And so I have like a side plate as my main plate.
Yes.
And I don't fill it completely. It's just a way of me being able to know, you know, that's my size meal. Yeah. But when I did that, from the 28th of November until the 4th of December, I'd lost 24 kilos.
Well done. I can't even imagine you with 24 extra kilos on. Oh my goodness.
But that was, I think, yes, it was portion size, but it was definitely the sugar. And then the sugar was feeding within me like all the other stuff. So I was practicing harder on all of the self-care stuff because I was putting so much junk into my body. And then I just felt lighter. I felt lighter in mood. I felt lighter in attitude. I felt lighter in myself. I just felt so good. Yeah. And now with the hormone thing it's another case of after I'm coming up to the end of the first 30 days, you know, the bloat, and it's gone down considerably. My clothes all feel different. I've dropped a few kilos. You know, my sugar cravings are nowhere near what they had started to get back to, even though I wouldn't feed the craving with other stuff because I just don't buy it. I would feed it with, you know, grapes and watermelon, all the sweet fruit. Yes. Where now I'm making better choices there. And so, you know, at the moment, my favorite meals, you know, I still have I have a piece of grilled steak, and I've got a bit of an addiction at the moment to rocket pear and parmesan salad. Like I could eat that every day without fail because I just love it. But yeah, you know, it's those choices, and I, you know, people say, oh, you know, just go and grab you know, they'll walk past and grab a Mars bar. Well, I'd prefer to have a bowl of that salad than what I would the Mars bar. So that's the change in the mindset. But it is a commitment to me, for me to do this program that I'm on now, because it requires me to put something else, like something I would not normally put in my body, in my mouth of a morning. There's like, it's part of my routine now. So, you know, 21 days to form a new habit. I'm coming up to the end of 30 days and seeing the rewards and feeling I'm not over it. Like I just had a little flush there before, and you got to, but when it was like I had clients that I was working with and I had the sprinkler system back on my bloody eyelids, like it was time to do something. So you just got to acknowledge in them, and your mindset is everything. It's how you live your life. It's it's knowing there's some shit going down in the world and I am all over it. But do I allow it to affect me in a way to give me depression or anything like that? No, I don't. I would prefer to know I prefer to know where we're like what's on the horizon, and know that I've been able to do the prep, and it's been very, very good because we've just gone up another $1.18 in one of our investments. That's when you start to see that kind of thing, and you're seeing the good part of it, not the sad, but like everything's
the mindset, isn't it?
Looking for the good
instead of the bad.
Yeah, it is. Absolutely, it is. So, I think we're both on a bit of a journey, and I think I don't think it's going to be hard for either of us because I think we've been practicing this shit for so long. So many years. You're going to see great rewards, and so am I. So, yeah.
And you already have, so that's even, and as I said, like I don't know where this is going to take me. I'm no weight loss expert. I'm 3 weeks in, so I don't know, but all I know and what I'm an expert in is how I feel, and I know that I feel very different. And a little bit of exercise, I'm not doing lots. I'm sure if I did more that would ramp it up, but at the moment I'm doing what I feel is right for me, and then I'll go from there.
And you know what? It is all about how you feel.
Yeah.
No, you don't do this kind of stuff for anybody else.
You can't. You got to do it for you.
You don't do it for an ego perspective.
No.
You do it for the benefits of how you live and what you experience as a result of doing it.
Yeah.
It's not driven by, I've got to have this perfect, because everyone knows that what you see on anything, that perfect is photoshopped in 99% of the time.
Forget it. That's exactly.
Yeah. So it is about how you feel, and it's about health, and health is our greatest wealth.
Oh, it is. It absolutely is.
Yeah.
Which probably brings us to an end.
It does. On that note, I'm going to see you next week, and be mindful of that little bloody bunny dropping Easter eggs all over the place.
Just quickly before we end, I have admitted going through the supermarkets, looking at all those hot cross buns, which I love. I'm wondering what I'm going to do. I'm wondering, I haven't decided how I'm going to manage it all yet.
Maybe we could ask you guys out there that are having a listen to this, could you drop us some hints and tips on how to navigate all what we've come traditionally known as the Easter things, the chocolate, the hot cross buns, all the rest of it.
Hot cross buns. And one of the things that I've had since I've been a little girl, and this is really disgusting, but we wake up on Good Friday and my mum always cooked up a pan of fish fingers, and we would have fish fingers, Thousand Island dressing in our hot cross buns, in our warm hot cross buns. So I know, right? We've had it. My kids have it. My grandkids have it. We have just all had it. And I'm like, God, do I not, for the first time ever, not have that this year? So if you've got something out there that's going to help me, please.
So our
do I just have one, 2 fish fingers in one hot cross bun, and that's it for the day? Maybe that's what I do.
So our Good Friday morning will be smashed avo on sourdough, and then it will be fish and chips by the beach, because we'll take the dog down to the beach to have fish and chips, and then over night time it'll be prawns and salad. That will be it. And we will still have our roast on Sunday, because that's traditional.
Well, we're going to go
I have to
out
have a little bit of tradition.
We're going to go for lunch Sunday, so
Yeah.
and that will be my one treat meal as well.
So depending on what you're doing for Easter, happy Easter, everyone, and please stay safe on the roads and enjoy the time with family. And because it backs on to holidays either before or after, make sure that you enjoy the holidays with your family and stay safe.
And however you celebrate,
yes,
you know, do it your way, enjoy it. But as Wendy said, I can't stress that enough, from our family to yours, stay safe, have fun, be kind, and have a good mindset.
Yeah, absolutely. Don't forget to drop us some hints and tips. If there's any recipes that you've got that you know that we might love, that would be awesome.
That's good for the waistline.
Yeah, for those healthy choices.
Exactly.
See you later.
Bye for now.
Don't forget to follow us on our socials, like and subscribe to all of our platforms, and we'll see you next week.